For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.
Hello, welcome to For the Young at Heart. I'm Lucille Jerome. My guest today is Michael Kane. He's the Director of Nursing Services at Duville Life and Wellness Community. He's also a laughter therapist, a certifiable laughter therapist. We're going to be talking about that today, laughter and humor. Thank you for coming today, Mike.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I know how busy you are, so really appreciate it. Let's talk about humor and laughter. What is it? We all know what it is, but how helpful it can be to everybody, especially our elders.
Well, the main thing, Lucille, is that you have to understand that in laughter therapy, you never want to do the type of humor that places people in an uncomfortable situation. You don't want humor that puts someone down. You don't want humor that makes people feel paranoid or any of that. So the goal is, believe it or not, laughter for no reason. Children do it all the time. We do it sometimes. We just start giggling. And what's important to remember also is that this program was actually started in India. Laughter therapy was started by a doctor, Madan Kataria. There's a book. I meant to bring it, but my book is so dog-eared you can't see the cover anymore. I've read it so much. But it's called Laughter for No Reason. So every morning in India, millions of people wake up and they do laughter therapy. Now, in India, they've been doing healthcare and they've had nurses for over 5,000 years. And so this is not new, but they recognize how important it is.
5,000 years?
Yes.
4,000
or 5,000 years now.
Well, humor isn't something new.
No.
I mean, it's in the Bible. It's listed somewhere in the Bible also. And we know that priests and pastors used to use it also.
Absolutely.
So laughter is the best medicine, so to
It
speak.
is. It is.
Okay.
Well, that's what we've always said, right?
Right.
That's what
That's
it says
right.
in Reader's Digest.
Right.
But the last few years, we've actually figured out that there's some medical studies that have been done on the benefits of laughter and the benefits of engaging people in that. And I think that the program that I'm a part of, which is through the worldlaughtertour.com, Steve Wilson is the gentleman who began that program. It's all about doing range of motion or yoga-based exercises while doing forced laughter. And in the beginning, it doesn't seem like, ha ha ha, this is not so funny. But by the end, I guarantee you, in 20 minutes, you can't do anymore. You're laughing, your belly laughter, you've reached a point of, I just can't do this anymore. And that's the goal, is to reach a big belly laugh.
A belly laugh.
Yes, and once we've gotten there, we've reached the maximum, what you would call efficacy for that treatment.
While you're doing yoga.
Well, now you're not going to be doing a downward-facing dog.
I was just going to say, that alone would make some people laugh.
No, and if you watched me trying to do yoga, it definitely would be hysterical. But what they call it yogic exercises, but it's basically, it's set up so that whether you're a person who can walk and stand, whether you're a person who can only sit, or even if you're one of my residents who is in a reclined type wheelchair, they can all participate. Even passive participation. You get the benefit of it. But what they do is, like one of the most popular exercises, we don't call them that, we call them laughs. I would say, well, here's the next laugh, the roller coaster laugh. You know, when you're in a roller coaster, your head is down and you're scared and you're going down the roller coaster, and all of a sudden you raise up your hands. Well, that's all we do. We raise up our hands and we just start laughing. Ha, 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 ha. And in the beginning, like I said, everybody's looking at each other like, well, this is kind of odd. But we all look so silly while we're doing these exercises, you can't help it. And laughter's infectious.
It is infectious, yes. Yes. So initially they're self-conscious and they're looking around, but when they begin to forget themselves,
Yes.
then they can be free to laugh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's okay. And generally what I do as the leader, the laughter leader of the session, I do self-deprecating things. For instance, I might walk in that day and I'm wearing a hat that looks like I've got a lobster on my head, and I say, well, guys, it's going to be a terrible meeting today. I feel crabby. And it's just kind of like, oh, gosh, here's the dad joke. But
Okay.
you kind of do a sight gag. You let people know, hey, he's okay in opening himself up to be
Yes,
laughed at.
yes.
We're not laughing at each other. We're laughing
Yes,
with each other.
yes.
Laughing with each other.
Okay, talk a little bit more about that, laughing with each other versus at each other. I'm thinking of some people with the teasing that happens or the sarcasm.
No, no,
That's
no.
not humor.
No, that is not the type of humor that we want. Now,
Okay.
you and I have talked before. You know,
Right.
there are families that have that.
Yes.
My family does that. Sometimes I ask myself, what kind of a family do we have? We're always picking on each other, but we do it out of love, and we're teasing each other, and we do laugh about those things.
It's in family joking.
But that's in family joking. When you're with people in a community or people who might have cognitive disabilities, because believe me, this program works for anybody regardless of your cognitive ability. You could be in end-stage dementia. The key is I try not to bring people in who have any type of paranoia. I don't want them to think that we're laughing at them.
Okay.
But the goal is, I guarantee you, if you sit for any period of time watching someone else laugh, you can't help but smile,
Right.
and you can't help but laugh.
Right. Right.
There's a YouTube video that I used to show all the time. It were these 3 laughter therapists, and they got on a bus in Chicago. And they're riding along, and they're looking at each other, and they just start giggling, and they're laughing. Well, the whole bus started laughing.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They stopped at a stop, and someone came on, and they all kind of got themselves together. And then all of a sudden, they burst out laughing. Well, even the new people who got on the bus started laughing. This goes for 20 minutes. No one said anything. They just kept laughing. And then when they'd stop, they'd start again. That's what laughter does. Now, and
Okay.
once you've reached that moment, then the medical benefits start to take effect.
Okay, and the medical benefits are many.
Many.
You said close to 1 million.
I'm
and it-
probably exaggerating a little
Okay,
bit.
well, immediately I said, well, we don't have time for 1 million.
No, but I'll tell you a few.
Okay.
And a lot of these are documented, but I've actually seen this. I used to work for another organization, and I did laughter therapy 3 times a week. Families would come, staff would leave work and come back and do laughter therapy with us. But what we saw was that patients who are diabetic, and I'm in that club as well, a lot of us are diabetic, if you laugh 10 or 15 minutes a day, that's the equivalent of 2 units of insulin. Think about that.
Okay.
10 or 15 minutes a day, that's 2 units of insulin. So what we saw was a lot of my diabetic patients didn't need extra insulin. Their insulin levels went down. People with lung issues, people who have what we used to call emphysema, the
Right.
COPD patients, the
Right.
chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, the asthmatics, people with pneumonia or with an upper respiratory infection. Well, what do the doctors tell you? They want you to cough that stuff
That's
up.
right.
Right?
Right.
You get to a good belly laugh, and you know when you have a cold or whatever, you get a good cough. We saw people who, they recovered from pneumonias faster. They recovered from any type of a lung issue. And people who had lung cancer just felt better. They felt better.
Yeah,
And isn't that
that's part
really
of it,
what we're
isn't it?
about?
Sure.
I had
Sure.
patients, I had a lady who could only passively participate. She was in a reclined wheelchair. Her legs were swollen. We call that edema. Some of the listeners may know what that is, and some may be experiencing that. Well, it's not just gravity that helps get rid of edema. I want you to think about the concept of massage. When you get a massage on the outside of your body, right? Relieves your muscles,
Sure.
it feels good. What about massaging the inside of your body? Every time you laugh, you massage the inside of your body.
I love that line.
Think about that.
Yes.
And scientifically, what does that do for us? Well, a lot of us, as we get older, we don't move as much as we used to. And have you heard of the lymphatic system?
Yes.
So-
I'm not sure about the audience.
Exactly. But what the lymphatic system is I want you to picture it, it's sort of the drainage system for your body.
Okay.
It's where all the fluid and stuff goes that your heart and veins don't take care of. Your arteries, veins, they're pushing blood and other things. But when you get that swelling in your legs, it's the lymphatic system that drains that out of your body, and it's not driven by the heart, it's driven by movement. So here I have a lady, she's in this chair, her legs are swollen, she can't move. She's just relying on gravity to get rid of that swelling, which is painful.
Yeah.
It's very painful. Well, guess what? She was coming to laughter therapy 3 days a week. And we, like I said, 20, 30 minutes is about all that people could do. And it was like, I can't laugh anymore, it hurts. Well, we noticed that the swelling went down measurably because we as nurses, we measure people's
Right.
legs and we stage it from 1 to 4. This lady had 3 and 4 plus swelling.
Right,
We
right.
got it down to 1 and it stayed there. And we didn't do anything different. There were no
There was
medications,
nothing.
nothing. The only thing we could think of was we were doing laughter therapy, and in between laughter therapy, the family would go with her, and I advised them to talk about the funny family things, get her to laugh.
So she had the laughter therapy, so to speak, and then she had a double whammy with the family then talking about what she had done.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
Sort of like when you go to physical therapy 3 days a week.
Right.
And then in between, you're supposed to do those exercises that, don't tell my therapist, I never did those. But, you know,
It's our secret.
But, okay, but that's how it works. And so you think about it. So swelling in your body, you massage the inside of your body and you
right.
get those toxins out of your body.
Okay.
Even when you get a physical massage, they tell you to drink, 16, 32 ounces of water to help
right.
get rid of all that because they help to move from the
Right.
outside. I'm having you move it from the inside. And it makes a difference. And
does.
quite frankly, even if none of that is proven, don't you just feel better when you laugh?
Yes, you
Doesn't
do.
it
You
feel
do
good?
feel better. You feel lighter.
Yeah.
You feel lighter.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
You really do. So it can help with lungs, the lymphatic system. What other ways is it beneficial? I mean, I'm going through things in my mind, but
Right.
from your perspective, what other manners?
Okay. Well, here's the other thing. And,
Okay, all right.
if there's anyone out there who's ever done activities or physical therapy, or if you work with seniors the way I do, it's not very comfortable for most people to do a lot of exercise, right? You have
Right.
arthritis.
Yes.
You have other pains. You might have a chronic pain. But here's the thing. When you're laughing, you forget all about that.
That's right.
And the next thing you know, I had people who would tell me, I didn't know my mom could raise her arms like that anymore.
Oh, when you
She-
did that exercise?
The roller coaster
yes,
laugh.
okay.
I didn't know she could do that.
Okay.
I also didn't know my mother could make funny faces like that. I didn't know she really had that kind of sense of humor. So let's think about this. From a physical standpoint, we're getting them out of the mindset of, I'm doing 10 repetitions of raising my leg.
Exactly.
Right?
Who wants to do that?
No, now I'm just doing a laugh. It's
That's
not
right.
an exercise.
That's right.
And the next thing you know, they've been active, they've been mentally active. And I think the other thing you see is that it wakes people back up, because how much interaction do people get during the day? All of a sudden, here's this kind person who's spending time with you. They're laughing for no reason. They're bringing you in on it. You're laughing together. And at the end, you get, my personal paycheck were the hugs, right?
Oh,
It's that
yes.
human touch, the
Yes.
human interaction. We laugh together. It's the Carol Burnett show, right?
Yes.
I'm glad
Oh
we
my
had this
gosh.
time together
Yes.
just to share a laugh or two. Well, here we go. That's what we're bringing back. That's what we're trying to bring back.
Okay. So and there are proven benefits. These are proven benefits.
Proven benefits.
Okay.
I can see them. It's been documented. But there's one other benefit. Let's get beyond the physical and the
Okay.
medical.
Good.
How about the mental, the
Yes.
behavioral?
Yes.
How about the fact that for just a few moments I'm a kid again? And then they reminisce. After laughter therapy, we would, sometimes I would stay and help people with supper and things of that nature. And we sit and we chat about it. So what kind of fun things did you do as a kid? What did you enjoy doing? So think about that. Your mom and or dad, they're in this facility, they're in the nursing home. And it's all about providing care and giving them what they need. All of a sudden it's, hey, there's a few days a week where we're just laughing and acting like children, and then we spend several hours talking about it
Right.
during the week.
Right.
You've also created a sense of community. So let's not forget that.
The sense of community. I like that concept because sometimes in the nursing homes, well, sometimes people are living alone, elders are living alone at home. If they can get to the senior center, or if families when they visit can use some of this, that can also reduce the loneliness and the
Absolutely.
isolation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And listen, I'm not the only one out there. There are several licensed laughter therapists, certified laughter therapists out there. Some people double as laughter clowns at the Children's Hospital. Some of
Okay.
my fellow students, believe me, we did this for a whole weekend to get certified to do this. And of course, on Monday I told, please don't make me laugh, it hurts too much. But some of the people that were there were the laughter clowns for the Boston Children's Hospital or Dana-Farber or those other things. Just picture, it's kind of like Patch Adams, except we're not doing practical jokes on the units and things of that nature. We're getting a community together, and we're going to have fun together, and we're going to laugh together. And in fact, I would have people come to me and say, you know, my roommate never comes out, but I was telling her about laughter therapy.
Good. Okay.
Get those
Yes.
people out.
Yes.
And they would say, well, I'll try it once.
Yeah.
And then they're hooked. They can't not come.
Okay. So hooking them in first, because some people, well, we're elders, we're adults, we're elder, we're supposed to be very serious.
Yeah.
We're very, very serious, you know.
Right.
But no. So you have to break into that.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm in a
Exactly.
nursing home. We're supposed to be very serious here.
Very serious.
Okay.
And generally, I can usually get just about the most serious person to laugh, even if I do have to do something to make them laugh. I'm not opposed to dressing as the elf on a shelf. I'm not, which I've done in the past.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to losing a bet and being forced to dress like Colonel Sanders. It doesn't matter. If it gets a laugh and the residents enjoy it, then what else are we here for?
Well, part of an assessment would be, did they like Colonel Sanders' chicken? And then using that. So part of an assessment of any particular person would be, let's tap into that.
Exactly.
This. You know, basically, I don't remember who did this one, but just smiling when you're walking in a market or down a corridor in a nursing home or in a hospital, just smiling makes people smile.
Well, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And that's what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, one of the things I did in my many lives in nursing, one of the best things that ever happened to me was I received some training from Walt Disney. Not Walt Disney himself, but Disney training,
right.
where they teach you you're actors on a stage. Doesn't matter what baggage you're bringing with you today. It doesn't matter how you feel. You're out there and you need to go on. The lights are on. It's time to act. So my thing is, leave all that at the door when you come in. Let's have 8 hours of a sanctuary in our facility. And I don't want just the residents laughing. Listen, I want my staff laughing. I want the visitors laughing. I want anyone who comes in to feel comfortable, because if you're comfortable to laugh, then aren't you just comfortable?
Right, right, right. You feel lighter. You really do
Absolutely.
feel lighter.
Yes.
Oh, does it have any benefits for weight reduction?
Well, obviously not.
No, seriously. Well, if you're laughing hard enough and you're getting a belly laugh, then
Well-
your diaphragm is moving a little
Oh,
bit differently.
absolutely.
So maybe that needs some research.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get this going. So
Okay.
at Duville, one
Okay.
of the things that I'm happy to let folks know is that we are recently in the process of redoing our special care unit, our dementia unit. We're having a brand new dining and activity area built, which is exciting for us. And so the team of in the activities department on our special care unit and we're going to start working and putting together a program. I want to teach them and then release them to use
Okay.
their own ingenuity and their own sense of humor to run the program. But I'll definitely be a part of it, because even if I'm just in the crowd doing it, I
Sure.
want to do it.
Sure.
But maybe I'll get a little bit of weight loss out of it.
I'm just curious, though. I'm curious.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something about that.
There's research waiting to happen.
I bet, because
You know, because
when-
look what they have already found out.
right. And what do you do when you're stressful?
You do.
I'm a stress eater.
Okay.
Some people do that. Well, maybe if we reduce some stress. But some people, I'll tell you this, I've noticed that the people who are a part of a community, they're laughing, they're having a good time, they eat better. We don't have the weight loss
Okay.
at the facility. So we do get some weight gains, and we tease all the time that there's the Deauville 15. People come in, they gain 15 pounds as soon as they come in.
Well, they might be eating regularly for the first time.
It could be.
You
The
know.
food's pretty good, but it's the sense of community.
Right.
Everyone's sitting around and talking,
Yeah.
and you're eating while you're talking,
Right.
just like with family
Right.
at Easter,
Right.
right?
Right.
And you got these 3 big meals
Right.
a day, so how
Right.
can you not?
Right. But that's what you do. You talk together. That's good.
Yeah,
Okay. So those are some of the benefits. And you mentioned a little bit about stress,
Yes.
depression.
Yes.
It helps with these things.
Yes.
Is there research with those two?
Well, in
also?
fact, yes, it does help lower the feelings of stress. I will go on the units, and if my staff appears stressed, and listen, nursing is a very stressful job,
Sure is.
regardless of what venue you're working
Right.
in, right?
Right.
We all feel like we have people's lives in our hands, and we're trying to
Right.
do the best for them. And some days things don't go as well as you'd like, and we all get attached. I get so attached with my residents.
Right.
And if something happens, it really depresses the staff. We grieve just as much as anybody else,
Sure.
believe it or not. And
No, I do
just to
believe it.
take a few moments, we do bereavement for our staff, not just families and residents.
Okay.
We do bereavement, and our pastoral care department, what they tend to focus on, and they did this without me telling them, tell me what you enjoyed about, say it was me, Mike.
Right. Yeah.
When you took care of Mike, what are the fond memories you have?
Yes.
Isn't that a wonderful thing?
Yeah.
And just personally, I just think it helps you get over.
It helps
that
you
grieving
get over.
process.
Again, the initially the responses have to do with loss and missing and thinking of negativities.
Right.
Okay, and it's almost sacrilegious would be the wrong word, but disloyalty to find some laughter or humor.
Right.
But that's another part of the growth process
Right.
too.
It's okay to
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah.
In fact, they're actually starting to pursue laughter therapy for people who have been the victims of violence or other types of abuse or crimes. Find a way to let them know, listen, your life's not over. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to
Right.
move forward.
Right.
And listen, they've seen where people, their therapy, working with their therapist, it has improved the outcomes because it gets you into a different mindset. You get different hormones released when you laugh.
Okay, so the hormones, because with loss, with depression, with trauma, you do begin to, your life is over. There is a piece of it that's
Right.
over and done. But it's not over.
No.
No, it's not
You're living
over.
until
That's
you're
right.
not living.
That's right.
And even when I did hospice, I did
Right.
home health and
Oh,
hospice. This is the part where you talk about family humor.
Right.
And so I'll give you an example personally. So my father was on hospice, and I get my sense of humor from him. He was always laughing. And he and his nephews had incredible stories of funny things that they all did when they were younger. So the day actually before he passed away, my father was laughing so hard he could barely breathe because they were talking about the old things
The
they
old
did and
days.
how they teased each other and
Yeah.
the different things they did. It was probably the greatest gift that we could have given him and our family, because this is what we remember. We remember what a great
Yeah.
day that was.
Yeah.
And so I teach people, you don't just have to sit there quietly with church music playing. Those things are important. But how about you do something else? How about we live a little bit? How about we reminisce a little bit? And how about we remember what's important? Because the truth is, people who laugh together tend to love each other. And we need a lot more of that right now.
We do need, well, these are stressful times we're living in, so yes. Maybe we can pipe in laughter therapy somehow.
I would love it. I would love it.
Okay, there's your research project.
Exactly.
Okay, but it's true though. There is such stress out there. People
Yes.
can't laugh at themselves or at anything else.
Oh,
It's
no.
serious. We must be very serious.
No, so I'm supposed to be I'm the director of nurses,
Sure,
and
sure.
I'm supposed to be this, very highly professional person.
Which you are.
Which I do, but I'm also the person who's not afraid to make fun of himself, not afraid to laugh at himself. I think sometimes I think people take themselves way too seriously sometimes.
Yeah.
Take a step back and realize, you know what just happened to you, it was kind of funny,
Yeah.
We all have those moments where we do something in the yard and then we look around to make sure nobody saw it, right?
Yes.
It's okay to talk about that.
You kind of trip over something, you don't quite fall, thank you God. You don't
Exactly.
fall, but you trip
Exactly.
and it's like, did anyone see that? Sure,
Exactly.
sure. But to find the humor in a situation is what you're saying.
Yes.
And we talked earlier about how humor has been around, forever,
Right.
as long as we've been around.
Right.
Well, before I've been around, definitely. But now there's research that shows, yes, in fact, they were right all these thousands of years.
Yes.
And there were reasons for that. And
Right.
it affects the body, it affects the mind.
It also affects, think about it, why do children laugh so much? Believe it or not, it helps build their immune systems.
Okay, all right, there you go.
It also helps them to socialize. It also helps them, they're mimicking facial movements. They're learning to use those muscles.
Yes.
It takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown.
And sometimes there's
So-
a knowing look between two people who've shared like this private joke or something
Oh,
too.
yeah. Almost
right?
every meeting I'm
Yes,
in right now,
yeah,
I have
yeah.
to try to behave because we'll start laughing in the meetings. But you know what? It makes the meetings go by a little better
Sure.
too.
It's not just another meeting
No,
to go to.
and it's not, and again,
Okay.
it's not about putting people down, making
Right,
people
exactly,
uncomfortable.
exactly.
It's just about, you know what, let's just be human today, and let's enjoy our residents, let's enjoy each other, and let's enjoy our
Right,
jobs.
right.
And let's leave the pressures of the world at the door, and for 8 hours, it's not just a sanctuary for the staff coming in the
Right.
door, but we've created a sanctuary for the people who live there.
I want to thank you for coming. Believe it or not, we're just winding down right
Oh my
now.
gosh, we just got
I
started.
know, but it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. We're winding down, and I want to thank you so much for coming
Oh,
today
thank you for
and
having
sharing
me.
your expertise with us and your laughter with us
Oh,
too.
thank
It
you.
is infectious. It is infectious. And I want to thank you for watching. Until the next time, this is Lucille Jerome for The Young at Heart, and thank you again, Mike. Thank you
you.
so much.
For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.